Hold on. We're gonna start recording now because this is always it's always the best before the show, and then we start the show and it's never as good.
No, it's not as good as yeah. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I'm here with my man Tyler Smith, the Marine, the wrestling coach, the fighter, as well as my man Shang, one of the best comedians I know, a monster on stage.
I appreciate it.
One of the few guys that I think that very few people can follow Shang.
Except for a young man named Adam Hunter.
No, I'm serious, man. Like you and Godfrey, are probably the two biggest bangers in comedy. As far as
I appreciate it. I do shows with Godfrey, and it's fun. We've done shows together. Me and Adam have done shows together, and we've done like the Laugh Factory, and a lot of other comics know that we're bringing it. So I hope that when we come back, because this has been a lockdown like a motherfucker for a lot of people, hope when we come back we can still keep hitting them at clubs.
Well, that's why I'm trying to do these Zoom shows. I know it's like
I had fun. I had fun doing it.
You want to do it tonight?
Yeah. What time though?
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because it forces me to write and also to stay on track, because sometimes I think comics are lazy. And, if you don't have a show, you're like, oh, I'll write tomorrow, I'll write next week. Sometimes, especially when you have a baby, I'm like, shit, when am I going to get to the script? And I go, well, I'll be on the road next week, so I'll have time then. But if you don't have a deadline in front of you, sometimes you can get lazy.
But Adam, I've been through the baby thing. Twice, and I understand that, but I feel like lately I've been writing more. I've been writing more since I've been on lockdown, so it's been good. But a lot of times I do miss the fact that MMA Roasted. I do miss watching some of the fights. I do miss watching the live, because I pay for pay-per-view. I'll pay for pay-per-view. And I miss watching the fights, and a lot of the fighters, I think because of this, are going to lose super opportunities money-wise.
Oh, of course. I mean, fighters are notoriously bad at saving money.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
I mean, it's sad when I see guys I'm not sad, but sometimes you see some people at the gym and they're working to train people, or they're looking at this or that, or looking for day jobs, and you're like, man, I watched you fight in the octagon 30 times. I mean, You were the co-headliner and the headliner. And
some people are smart. I gotta admit, some people that, I'll give you a good example. Tyron Woodley, I think, was smart by doing other things.
Yeah, but he's the first one to tell you that he bought 4 houses and 8 cars. And
that's dumb. That's dumb to buy that many. Yeah, but he did. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
I buying fucking Polaris slingshots on his first big paycheck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's their dumb shit. But also have other streams of income because of your fighting and sponsors.
So we're very blessed to have a guy who's undefeated, amazing fighter, and just a human highlight reel. Sean O'Malley, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
What's up, Sean?
I was at your last fight in Vegas, and
oh baby.
That was amazing. How much pressure was on you? Because you hadn't fought in a year, and it was the Sugar Sean show. I feel like you were – I think even though you were, I think, on the undercard, everybody was like, when's Sean fighting? When's Sean fighting? When's Sean fighting? How much was on you?
Yeah, I didn't really – I mean, I think you could kind of tell, but I didn't feel any of the pressure. I didn't feel like I had – I didn't feel like I had to do anything. I just knew I was going to go out there and do what I do, and – I didn't feel any pressure. I didn't feel any I have to perform. I just, I knew I did everything right in those 2 years, and then Ed did everything right in that entire training camp, that I wasn't questioning anything. I knew I was going to go in there and perform. So I didn't feel any pressure. It was just a lot of fun.
Now, Sean's been to a couple of my shows in Arizona, and I forget how young you are until I see your friends, because, one of those things where I put these guys on pedestals, and you look at these guys, and they're all fucking jacked, and then I see his friends who look like high school kids. It was. And I'm not insulting you, but like they look. I'm like, wow. This kid, Sean is like, what are you? 21, 22? How old are you?
I'm 25. I don't know who I was with, but I pretty much only hang out with Tim and his girlfriend. And Tim's gonna be 30 this month.
Maybe it was the first time you came.
Maybe I might have came with someone else.
It was the time you were wearing like an Indiana Jones hat. But they just seem young, man. I was like, wow. It was cool to see.
Well, no, Sean, I want to ask you something. Like, if you haven't fought for a while, is it hard to gauge the distance? Because it just seems like when you're rusty, you can't gauge you can't gauge the distance. It takes you a little bit to get into it. Because some people I'll see, you can see, they say there's no such thing as ring rust, which I think is bullshit. I think you got to get into a rhythm, and then a couple minutes in, you go, okay, cool, it's on.
Yeah, I was out for 2 years and like 4 days, and I didn't feel any ring rust. I didn't feel like I missed a step. I felt better than ever. But also, I was, like I said, I was doing everything right in those 2 years. I wasn't fucking around. I wasn't going out. I wasn't doing anything other than living a championship lifestyle. So I train, I recover, and I do everything that needs to be done to become world champ. So I didn't feel any ring rust. But as far as like sparring and stuff, I don't spar outside of camp. I haven't sparred since my fight. I'm not going to spar until I have a fight booked. And those first couple sparring sessions, you know, your distance and that stuff might be off a little bit, but I also know it's like, okay, I haven't sparred in a long time, so I'm gonna be off a little bit. But it takes me 1-2 rounds, and I'm back to. And then
you get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had the honor of going to Crouch's sparring day, and I watched you spar, and it was awesome. First of all, it was just monsters in that room between you and Henderson and Johnny Case and.
Yeah, killers. But what's crazy about you is you were sparring kind of the same way that you fight. Like, it was so unconventional. Where did you learn that style? Who did I learn from? Who did I kind of mimic growing up? When you go watch me when I was 16, I have videos on YouTube when I was kickboxing. I have this same style now. I just have it's way more advanced, way more elite. There's a lot more tricks a lot more tricks in my game now. But you go watch me when I was 16, I didn't learn from anyone. That's just pure athleticism and literally just going off instinct. So I was just a naturally gifted athlete. And once I picked up kickboxing gloves and started kickboxing, I didn't watch. I don't think I ever even watched a fight really when I started. It was all pure instinct.
Wow. It looks like you watched a bunch of Kung Fu movies and just started doing whatever the hell those guys did.
I definitely did it. It's funny. I remember my dad, when I was probably 13, he was watching UFC, and I told my mom, I said, Dad's watching that stuff again. Cause I thought it was I didn't understand it. I'm like, how do you watch that? People are, I didn't understand it. So it's funny, looking back at that day. I remember telling on him because I wanted to watch something else. I told my mom he was watching that stuff, and she thought it was disgusting. And
you ratted him out, bro. You ratted out your dad on that one.
I did. I tried to watch something else.
Threw him right under the bus so he could watch cartoons, huh?
Exactly, probably.
Like, fuck this.
I'll tell you, Sean, like, I always knew that you were like an incredible striker, but where I was really impressed was watching Polaris because
Quintet.
A quintet. First of all, you submitted the fight Gomi, which is like insane.
Yeah.
That must have, and then Hector Lombard had a kind of a weight advantage over you.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little.
That's strong.
That didn't seem fair. But then you and Gilbert Melendez went the whole distance. And these guys are, Melendez was an incredible wrestler. He's been out, and Gomi is like incredible at the ground game. How tell me about that.
Yeah, obviously my grappling's super underrated. I think anytime you kind of specialize in something, that's what gets talked about, and you just kind of assume that they're not as good in the other areas. I do think my striking's elite of the elite, and I think my grappling's going to be there. All I do is grapple. Like, pretty much four days a week. We're doing live competition grappling. So I'm getting up there. Yeah, like you said, I subbed Gomi, caught him in a high elbow guillotine. I have a nasty guillotine, and I think a lot of people that fight me, their game plans to take me down. You know, that's not going to be.
Yeah, fine.
Not going to work for much longer. I don't think it would work right now. I think if someone's game plan is to take me down and hold me down, that's not gonna get the job done.
Well, Gilbert's pacing is what's crazy to me. His pacing is just constant. It's like, you got to be really cardio ready with that motherfucker, because he's like, I ain't stopping.
I
felt his asshole, and he's still going, I ain't stopping.
Yeah, I felt him breaking in there. I was training for Nogi Worlds at Purple Belt before I got that offer, and that pays. Nogi Worlds doesn't. So I was in shape. I was in really good shape. I was ready to go. I was training hard. I just got done training with the Tinquinho Mendez, who won ADCC, and I was one of his main training partners. So I was ready to go in shape. And I was taking that event serious. And a lot of those guys, I don't think were, doing it for real. Like, when you're as good as those guys, you don't have to be in necessarily in good shape. You're going to be able to go 8 minutes. So I think I was able to pick up the pace.
You don't think Mark Munoz was in great shape for that event?
That dude looks about 400. That dude's a big motherfucker.
I was like,
yeah. It's true, though. Like, when you're coming from especially like guys coming from the MMA world who are already pretty done done with that, like Gilbert Melendez, Hector Lombard isn't done, but he's been doing it for a while. It's like when you get the opportunity to, I just get to go to a grappling tournament and get paid no matter what happens. Like, cool.
Yeah, for sure. They weren't, I'm sure they train, still. It's probably part of their lifestyle to train, but I'm 25 training like it's, like I'm trying to be world champ right now.
They already
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think people assume because like of your Instagram that you're just high all day and partying, getting face tattoos, and they don't realize like how serious you are about this.
Right. Yeah, I think I feel most the people that listen to my podcast, Tim and I's podcast, or I feel like those guys understand, they get it more. We talk a lot about mindset and what we're doing throughout the weeks and stuff. But yeah, I train to become world champ. That's the ultimate goal. And I've lived that same lifestyle for the last 10 years since I was 16. Not 16, probably 17, 18. Once I realized what I wanted to do is be world champ, I haven't stopped training like that.
What's the name of your podcast so people can find it?
The Timbo Sugar Show. It's fucked up. We just say fucked up shit and talk about it's fun, but it's also it's also informative and good shit.
Nice. Now, do you have the same girlfriend that you live with?
Yep. Yeah, we've been together for 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Well, you're a loyal guy, because you must be getting so many women must be hitting you up like, hey, son, what are you doing?
Armbar me. Yeah.
I tell them, come on over.
Come on over.
If they're hot and my girl thinks they're hot and they're down with that, they can come on over.
Oh, okay. So you guys are cool with that. You're cool with other girls coming and hanging out with you guys?
Yeah, if they're cool and hot, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, they're obviously not sick if they're cool and hot, dude.
Is this kid is so smart?
They're probably not smart. Man.
I'm like 41.
Yard doesn't matter enough.
I'm like 41. My wife would kill me. I'm like a loser. This kid's like so much more advanced than I am. I mean, he's like he's like gonna be a world champion. He's killing the game. His girlfriend's cool with it, bringing home other chicks. He didn't even go to high school. This guy. I
went to high school for a little bit.
Did you ever finish high school?
I went to Capitol High for about 1.5 years. Then I went to I went to like another place called Hamilton High. Then I went to this like boot camp thing. It was called Montana Youth Challenge to get your GED after you drop out, because I fucking hated school. Got kicked out of that. Then I came back and went to like some alternative school, which was super easy. And they just fucking, you didn't get homework. Basically gave you a diploma. So technically I finished school. I got a diploma, so I don't know.
But fuck that. You already know what you want. You had the passion for it. So I'm like, sometimes I see people like, what about high school? Man, I know what the fuck I want to do.
No, fuck that. Stay in school, kids. Okay,
hold up, nah, whatever. Listen,
dude.
Adam. Bullshit.
It depends. It depends. I don't know
who you are, Adam.
I've never even seen my diploma. I don't even know why it was such a big deal. Everyone kept saying, make sure you get your diploma. I don't even know where the fuck it's at or how to even get it.
Well, for every Sean O'Malley, there's 9 million kids that drop out of high school that are not going to fucking achieve what he is. So
yeah, but don't listen to that. Listen to me.
You don't have to go to college, but at least finish high school. All right.
Yeah, but you know what? Having that champion, you know what, Sean, honestly, having a champion, like, look, I want to be champion, and having that mentality from the jump is the way to go, man. Because I see the difference between fighters like, well, I'm just going to fight till my next fight and then see what happens. No, fuck that. If you go, I'm going to be champion. You can see the difference in intensity from those fighters and fighters that don't do that.
Well, it wasn't, I went through, when I was 8, I moved to Phoenix and started training at the lab when I was 18. 0 wrestling, and I'd say I had like maybe 1% jiu-jitsu. Like I was a scrappy kickboxer that pretty much taught, didn't learn a lot, just going off instinct. I would get my ass kicked by the professionals down here. Like there was a bunch of guys that were in the UFC. I moved down to Phoenix and would get my ass kicked every single day. Wednesday was the only day that I would do decent. That was like kickboxing sparring days. So Monday wasn't too bad either. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday, all those days I was getting fucked up. And I had that. There was days where my whole family lives in Montana. I lived with Tim at the time, but it was like super lonely and I'd get my ass kicked and I would be like, is this for me? I don't know. You definitely go through phases like that. And I went through a bunch of them, but then I knew if I just kept going and I was going to get good, I knew I was a good athlete and I knew I could learn. So I knew if I learned all that stuff that eventually I'd be beating those guys. And I just stuck with it and was super consistent. So I think like the biggest thing was just being consistent. Those days I didn't want to go, I still went. And that's still the mindset I have now is like, fuck, I don't want to go to the gym every single time, but I just make myself. So I think just that is really what's helped me get here.
How did you pay your rent back then?
I saved up $2,000 when I drove down. That helped a lot. And then I was super, super fortunate that I had sponsors in Great Falls, Montana, that would pay me every once in a while, a couple $100, $300, $400. And when I got those checks, I was just so thankful because I had to pay $100 a month at the lab. And then I had to pay, Tim and I got the cheapest apartment we could possibly get as close as we could to the gym. So my rent was $330. Then I had $100 at the lab. And then my parents helped me with my, my insurance and my phone bill. So I was just living off sponsors at the time, super careful with what I spent my money on. I wasn't going out. I didn't go out and spend my money on anything other than food. So,
yeah.
Well, I love hearing this because I know as a comic, I've had to, have similar issues of like sleeping in my car. Like I used to drive to San Diego to do a gig. And if I didn't have enough money for gas to get back. So if I didn't sell any merch, I'd be stuck in San Diego. I mean, literally, I remember looking through my couches for quarters and nickels and dimes just to get Starbucks. I remember having negative $980 in my account, and then trying to get them to give me $20 for an overdraft, just $20, and then kicking me out of the bank. So but I think that those are what makes you stronger. I think a lot of people look at you and look at your talent and go, oh, he's just a gifted kid. Yeah. So it's really nice to hear of like your struggle, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the struggle
is nice to hear about him struggling.
It is, for real.
Yeah. Yo, man, I'm glad you were all fucked up and that you were hungry.
No, that's where you get the mindset, though. I feel like that's where you get the mindset. If everything was just given to you, there's no way. If I was just super, super skilled that didn't really have to go to the gym and like fighting, you have to be skilled to win fights. But if I didn't have to train for those skills, there's no way I'd have the mindset that I have now. And I feel like the mindset's the most important thing. Yeah, and you get that through the struggle.
Those guys at the gym that are the super talented ones that don't have the drive. Like I was somewhere in the middle where it was like I could be fine sparring, but like I wouldn't be able to go through a fight camp without trying, But there's those guys that every day they show up and it's like, oh, it's sparring day. They haven't been here the whole week, but it's sparring day, and they fuck everybody up.
Right. Oh yeah, there's those dudes for sure.
Because they haven't built those habits. They haven't built that.
Absolutely.
But Sean, is that what you're thinking about? Like when you're fighting Andre Sukumta and
Soccer Mom?
Soccer Mom. And then your leg gives out in the third round and you have to fight on one leg.
Yeah, I don't in those moments, you're not really, sitting here thinking about what was I thinking about in those moments. I don't think I was thinking about anything because I was just going. I was just off pure instinct. In that moment, it was life or death in my eyes. Like, obviously, there's a ref in there that's going to stop it before. But when you're in there, it's life or death. Yeah. It's like, this guy's going to kill me or I'm going to kill this guy. So I don't remember thinking anything. I just remember just nothing, really, just going.
Well, you know what I think? Because you said, like, kickboxing, when you're, kickboxer, you can keep distance. You could definitely, tag a couple people up, tag them up. But I think in your situation, every time I watch you fight, I thought people sleep on your grappling and your ground game. They sleep on you sometimes. And I think that's sneaky where they go, fuck that. I'm just run up on him and he grab you and they don't realize you got skills. And that's
going to happen, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to happen soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely underrated grappling, and it's going to be, it's still a secret. Like, until I finish someone in the UFC with a submission, people aren't going to look at me as a grappler. So, eventually I want to be looked at like Charles Oliveira. Like, I don't want to take that motherfucker down. He's going to choke me.
Yeah.
Now during this, what a pandemic, are you training at all now?
Oh yeah, I'm training. I'm getting such quality work in right now. I'm going to work with my strength and conditioning coach at 1. I'm going to go grapple at 5. Like, I'm still training. Yesterday I hit mids, hit the bag, and did competition rolls. I'm training like a fucking animal. I'm training like I haven't stopped because last fight camp I didn't get any injuries that I couldn't train on. So after the fight, that Monday it's back to training. It's back to living that same lifestyle.
Right.
All right. More important, you and your girl bring home a hot chick, right? And like, obviously, like, she starts blowing you and your girl's doing stuff to her and everyone's having fun. Does she ever like want to stay and you're trying to get her out like afterwards, but she keeps wanting to come back?
That hasn't happened. No.
Okay.
Usually it's that hasn't happened. It depends how cool they are. If they're cool as shit, we both think they're cool, they can stay. If one of us thinks they're cool and the other one doesn't, they'll probably have to go. But it depends how cool they are. There's some cool chicks out there.
Ever get jealous of like, how come you don't do that to me, or how come you're banging her better than me, or how come you're more excited?
No, we haven't had that issue. We're pretty good at communicating.
Oh, that's good.
Adam, why don't you try that? Go ahead, give it a shot.
Right. Are you kidding? A girl would come in here, dude. No fucking way.
It wasn't always like that. It took a lot of years for us to communicate back and forth, and we read a lot of books and listened to a lot of podcasts and learned a lot about each other and understanding each other and what needs we need and stuff like that. So it's more than just picking up. It was a lot of years of talking and communicating and crying and a lot of other stuff other than just the fun stuff.
Shang, I'll give you an example. Last night, this girl, Shani, who's this like nice girl, she's a trainer. I downloaded some fight app and she was the trainer. So I texted her, hey, I took your class. It was a lot of fun, right? She reposted.
With a dick pic?
I get a DM from my wife. You're not allowed to take that class anymore. And she was kidding, but like not really. Like
not really. Yes, she was dead serious. Like, don't ever take
on the
class.
Inside. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I can't take the hot girls class, can you imagine some hot chick coming over and like blowing me and my girl being like, yay, and making us coffee?
All of a sudden you feel the back of your head, it's wet, because she smashed you in the head with something heavy.
Yeah. You never know. Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone though.
You know what? A lot of times when I see people that are strikers, I always think, when you see wrestlers and strikers, like especially with wrestlers, wrestling is absolutely key right now. I don't give a fuck who you are. You got to do wrestling and grappling. But I see people that are just strikers that I've never seen take down. I go, as soon as somebody take him down, he gets taken down, he's gonna get.
Weren't we on threesomes? What the fuck you talking about?
Okay, because you can talk about that. I can talk.
By the way,
the thing about
By the way, Sean, so this is Shang, very funny comic. He was on BET's Comic View 800 times.
I had to bring up the Black Show. Thank
BET,
you.
bro,
All the other shows.
on BET.
All these other shows.
Also
I've been on all these mainstream shows, and they always go, he's on Def Jam. He's on BET. I'm like, it's the Late Show. The fuck are you talking about?
JP Fox Show. And this is Tyler, who's a brown belt and also a Marine. And we coach middle school wrestling together. So just so you all know.
The reason, Sean, because I mean, we just meeting online. I'm saying I want to know that mindset because you got to think. Even though we've always been on, I've been on MMA Roasted before. Well, you got to think how long ago when I stopped doing that shit so many years ago is because I was like, even when I would win, I was so hurt. I was like, I don't know if I could keep doing this shit.
Been there
over and over again. So I didn't have that last ditch like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. I thought soaking in Epsom salt all day. No, that's the truth, man.
But he has his own line of CBD products.
No, I use the hot tub and a cold plunge and a sauna at my house. So I have a lot of recovery tools that I use every night. So I'm recovering to make sure I can go and train again the next day.
What about both? Do you have a hot tub and a cold plunge at the house?
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah,
it's sick.
And a sauna, yeah.
All right, before we go, Sean, so your parents, right? Your parents, obviously, in Montana, you probably drove them crazy. You went to 4 different schools, a correctional facility, another school. Like, now they see you. You're, 800,000 followers here. You're the poster boy for the UFC. How proud are they of you right now?
Yeah, super proud. I think I'm sure they were thinking, like, fuck, what's this? What's he going to do in life? Like, what's his thing? But my mom still, I don't know. We have a really good relationship, my mom and I, and my dad and I. But my mom still thinks marijuana is just like the worst thing ever. She compares it to meth. So I think
my mom too.
It's embarrassing, but it's like for real. She's just so programmed to think of it some way that it's like I can't even have a conversation with her without her freaking out about it. So and I'm like, Mom, I smoke every single day, and look what I'm doing, and it just doesn't. I don't know what it doesn't register in her mind.
It doesn't register at all.
I don't know what the fuck, but I love her. She's awesome.
I feel for the parents. You still go, what are you doing? What are you talking about?
It's hard to talk to her about it.
I feel for the parents. My mom accidentally ate. She went to visit my uncle in Colorado, and she took some chocolate out of the fridge, like without anybody, and it was some homemade edibles. Shit. They didn't know. Nobody knew that she had ate it. And they called me, and I was like, oh, yeah, she eats some weed. Like,
my dad used to find
you don't know you're high, you're going to
my dad would find my bong, and he would like clean it. I swear. He'd be like, you can't, this is disgusting. You can't smoke out of this.
That's good. That's good.
I could see Joe doing that.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
So now, do you ever, because a lot of people, whenever you fight, I feel like, clout chasers, I guess they call them. Fighters are always calling you out. Do you ever respond to them or no?
When I was out, I got called out by 9 people. So it's like kind of, no, I keep, it's embarrassing. They'll just keep tweeting and keep tweeting. It's just like, I don't know. I'm going to fight whoever I fight next, and we'll decide. I don't know. It's just, we'll see. I can't fight 9 people. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Is the UFC? I mean, obviously, you have.
I don't know. We'll see. Some of them aren't even in the UFC anymore.
Some people.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So you have that star, but you're already a star. You're gonna be a mega star, and the UFC. Hopefully, I mean, they're getting behind you already. But
right.
Is it a thing where? Are they going to are they throwing you opponents and you get to pick, or are you just, fuck it, whoever you give me, and it's up to them, like, how they want to push your career?
Yeah, with, like, my last fight, obviously we were waiting for all this to get done. They said, you want to fight Teco again? Because I was supposed to fight him a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, or whatever it was. And I said, hell yeah, let's do it. So that's how that one went. This next fight, whoever we get, I don't know, I'm waiting for the UFC to come to me and say, hey, we want you on this card. I talked to Sean Shelby a couple weeks ago. I was trying to get on that card, Habib Tony card, before it got all crazy. And he said, no, we want you for July. So I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting for UFC to hit me up, and we'll go from there.
I think you and Chase Hooper would be hilarious. Because
Chase Hoop.
he's like
but that's the thing. You can't have them fight each other right now. We have to bring Chase up. Like,
I know, but
that's true.
That'd be a funny sitcom because he's like the brother that kind of like went like awry, and Chase is the nerdy guy, and then they fucking somehow.
They're like the sitcom already.
The same person, just like different. They're like the Gemini. They're just the split same person.
Now, who's that guy that wrote? I was looking at your Instagram. Somebody wrote a rap song for you.
Yeah, that we just dropped the music video today. This guy J-Rob hit me up. I was actually in Vegas. He hit me up and said, "You want to make music?" Blah 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 blah. And usually when people tell me that, I'm like, all right. Like I don't know how. I don't want to listen to it and then it sucks. But he emailed it to me. I listened to it and I was like, damn, that was fucking sweet. And he lives in Arizona, so yeah, we made a video the other day. It was fucking sweet.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man. It was really cool. Well, listen, you've always been super supportive, and I've been supportive of you, and I appreciate that because a lot of times, like I knew you when your first fight in the UFC. We had you on, I think, before the UFC, and and I was like, holy shit, this kid's got something special. And a lot of people, they blow up and never talk to me.
He's like, yeah, Adam, I don't have time to talk for you. I'm getting my mail.
Or they say, go through my management. And it's like, fuck
the
fucking podcast. Like,
exactly. Sean,
I got probably 5 requests in the last 2 days for podcast interviews. I just get so many, but no, I was down to do this one.
Sean, who do you look at that you go, man, this motherfucker, like, do you have fighters you look at and go, God damn, this dude right here?
Fuck, there's so many guys in the UFC that are just fucking animals. Obviously Israel Adesanya is a fucking beast. I feel like we have a similar striking style.
Yeah.
But there's just so many dudes that are Gilbert Burns, fucker's an animal. There's so many guys in the UFC that are just insanely talented. It would be hard to
pick
a couple. But just, I guess the 2 I said just now even, but.
Well, listen, Sean, thanks for coming on the show, man. Hopefully when this is done, I'll see you in July in Vegas. Keep staying healthy and best of luck, man.
Dude, yeah, thanks. Let me know if you guys are down in Phoenix again once this shit's all over with. We'd love to come to a show again.
Absolutely, man. Thanks a lot, Sean.
Yeah, dude.
Take care. All right, that was Sean O'Malley.
Okay. Adam.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, so you got to. Well, I've met some people through you. I've met, I've never, especially when I do Vegas. I meet more fighters when I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
And which is so cool. I'm like, when you see them in the audience and you're doing a show, you go, is that who I think it is? Like, does that ever hit you? Because it still hits me. I still go, what the fuck is he doing here? Like,
yeah,
I didn't know they like comedy so much.
It's crazy. Like, it's weird to say. Like, sometimes when fighters like will only come to shows if like 5 other fighters show up, like if it's like the group thing, they'll come, But when fighters come by themselves is when I'm just like blown away. Like when Kelvin Gastelum showed up in Irvine by himself, I'm just like, holy shit. Like that's fucking pretty cool, or Frankie Edgar came to a show and there was like 30 people there. And one of them is Frankie Edgar. Or when BJ Penn came to the Dime Bar,
drinking whiskey.
That's when I really get these guys. Like, I think fighters know though, that like, so much of it is like I have a good career, like I've been all over the world doing comedy. I've opened up for, Russell Peters, and I've been on this and that, but I'm not Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people will only support you when you get to be Joe Rogan status.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's what you're saying. So
for me, when fighters come out and like, they know, like, it's not like when they just support because they support you, that's what it means the most to me. Like when Michael Bisping came to my show at the Dime Bar and afterwards helped me put away chairs, like that meant more than.
Good guy, Michael.
Yeah.
Like he was the world champion and he's helped me put away tables. But
that's also the difference between fighting and other sports too, I think, is that you're getting the shit kicked out of you. It's like you're the champion, but you've been humbled so many times by just other people. Like it's not like losing a football game where you're just like, oh fuck, well whatever, they're just better, they strategize. Like, no, I've got the shit beat out of me.
You know what I was thinking is, Tyler, along with that,
it's like, well,
Tyler, along with that, which I think is also maybe a problem, is that like, say you get recruited for basketball, right, or football or whatever, you get like this elite type of treatment where you have somebody do your homework for you, and people are giving you money and buying you cars, and
not just that, like you're bringing money in. So it's like from the time you're in college, a young man in college, it's like, we need to take care of you. Let's make sure you have this. Make sure you have the shoes. Make sure you have trainers. Make sure you.
And
have
you also get like
media, it's like,
you also get media trained and everything else. Whereas with fighters, it's like maybe because you never got that sense of entitlement, you still look out for the little guy. You know, like almost,
right. I think that, Adam, you're right on that for sure.
Like I've
say athletes don't like grind fucking hard. Like they have to.
Right. I know.
Work. But
I've never seen a fighter turn down an autograph or a picture from anybody. Like, but I've seen plenty of other athletes do that.
Dude,
you know,
we were in my first live fight in San Jose. We went to Matt Brown, Robbie Lawler. What's up, Jessy Jess?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Jesse Joseph jumped on. There you go.
Matt Brown, Robbie Lawler in San Jose. It was the headliner. Great card. Clay Guida got the shit kicked out of him. And after the fight, we walk out. There's a crowd outside, and Clay Guida comes outside crying, taking pictures with fans.
Yeah.
Just like two huge black eyes, smile on his face, like, hey, you could tell he was like, fuck, I just lost, but like, thanks for being here, guys. It was awesome.
Plus, Shang, I think there's still a level of fighter that like a guy like, let's say Mike Pierce, okay, who was the elite of the elite. I think he was like top 7 in the world, like top 5. But he could still walk into a bar and people don't know who the fuck Mike Pierce is, unless it's in Oregon and it's in his hometown. So I still think there's an appreciation that fighters have towards fans because a lot of people don't know who these fighters are. You know, so when they do, they get super. Anyway, speaking of somebody who's beautiful and tough, and awesome. And Jessy Jess, how are you? What's going on with you? How's this quarantine hitting you? Talk to me.
I'm good. I'm very bored. I keep buying like clothes online that I don't need because obviously I can't go anywhere to wear them. And then I keep buying. I keep buying fucking weapons, like a stupid amount of weapons for some reason that I don't really need.
No, you know what? It's crazy because I was actually on your Instagram. I was with my wife scrolling through Instagram, and I see you whip out a sword that's like this big, and you're like, "Oh, thanks for the sword." And I asked my wife like, "Hey, do you want this?" And she's not really into swords, and she was like, "What?" She just looked at me very confused. I think she said,
how much are you spending on weapons, Jessy Jess?
I think my wife said that
Come on. No, like realistically, because are you getting a bunch of shit stuff or are you getting a couple really good things?
I like knives, so I've spent an okay amount of money on knives. But then the other weapons that I don't actually know how to use yet, like the throwing knives, and I bought throwing axes, and I just got a bow and arrows as well. I didn't spend a lot of money on them because I'm like, I'd rather beat up fucking shit.
I've been buying all kinds of shit for my bow. That's
really?
why I've been buying new broadheads and arrows. Like,
yeah.
What are you waiting for? A zombie apocalypse?
Yeah,
bro. I'm going hunting.
Oh, they're hunting for zombies.
Tyler, Jesse, Jess, why are you buying swords?
For that reason. Exactly.
You gotta know how to chop off zombies' heads. You gotta have a good sword.
No, because I like one of my friends is like ex-military and does all the like the training courses and stuff, and he had something on his Instagram about being prepared and like he's like, what skills do you have for when that's your only form of barter, like when currency's gone? And I was like, fuck, I don't have any skills. Like I can trash talk people and I can fight with my fist. But if I'm fighting someone and they have weapons and I don't have weapons, I'm probably going to come off second best, right? I don't know how to disarm people. Like, I don't know how to, there's a lot of things I don't know. If you let me wrap my hands and put my gloves on and give me a rule set, then fuck yeah, I can fight. But I can't guarantee I'd be able to when they have advantages, you know, or like if they have a significant size advantage or strength advantage, I don't know how capable I'm actually going to
You don't think that if you start like twerking or show your butt, guys will just put whatever weapon down?
Well, so then that's the other route. Like, you can go the hooker route, you know, like women have been around doing that for many, many years through all the ages.
Great survival strategy. It is.
Yeah. It's a total different strategy. Hooker training.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Different training, but a sword, you can fuck somebody up.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
We have to get to a couple bottom things. So you told Ween Dog, if he shows up at the UFC gym, you would let him in and you could take her out for lunch. Ween Dog shows up and you lock him out.
I didn't lock him out. I wasn't even there.
Yeah, she wasn't even there. She just canceled on me.
I said you had to be there when I was there.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
it was a devastating moment, dude. I was like getting ready. I got my grafts all ready to get grafted, you know. I was like turning into CB Gold. I'm like, I'm going to meet Francis Ngannou, Jessy Jess, and whoever the fuck else is there, you know.
And
it turned me down, dude.
You met the security guard.
Yeah, I was going to bring her roses.
Okay.
Yeah, but did you? What do you mean I was going to? Did you turn up with roses?
No.
No, so fuck off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Jessy,
I would have given him to Francis Ngannou instead.
Now, Jessy, you were training in Vegas, but you left for Northern California.
Yes.
How's it going? Why did you leave, and how's the new training going?
It's been really good. I left because my gym is here. Like, I've been traveling up here for a year and a half, and I realized it was costing me like $2,000 every week that I was spending here to commute. So I kind of just got rid of my house, put everything in storage, and bought an RV, and then came up here. And now I live in an RV, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
Wait, you live in an RV?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm in the car right now outside the fucking RV park.
Are you still dating that guy that I met?
Yeah, that's why I'm out in the car, because he's in the RV right now.
Okay. Now, he seemed like a real nice guy. He's a fighter. He's Hawaiian. Now, I know there was a list of guys that wanted to date you. I mean, there was like thousands of men. How did this guy?
Thousands.
Thousands and thousands.
I was at the top of that list.
Yeah, Ween Dog was there. Vince might have been on that list. How did this guy land Jessy Jess?
Well, he's young and really awkward. And I'm kind of like, I feel like I was kind of a predator when I first started messaging you. That's what it felt like. Like, I felt like a shark. Like, he was this young, impressionable, cute boy, you know?
Like, you were just packing him into the cage.
Pretty much.
Fucking walking him down like, all right, kid.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I think all these alpha guys were trying to like, hey, Jessy, look at me. I got a big cock, you know? And then they were trying to impress you that way. But meanwhile, this like nervous Hawaiian dude in the corner, like, you wanted to be the girl that like gets him, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I'm in charge, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing, if I go for like the big meathead macho guys, like, they're gonna get upset when they realize that I'm in charge. Whereas he knew from the start. So that's how it works. It's never a power struggle.
And now he's in the LFA. When he gets to the UFC, is he done?
No, he's in Bellator now.
Oh, he's in Bellator.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
He's in Bellator now.
Oh, nice. How did he do?
He lost his first fight. He fought the guy who fought fucking Paige's husband last.
Austin.
Like, this tall, this tall black dude. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt, and he just out-grappled Ty.
Got it. And did you make him feel better that night? Were you like, you're still champ to me kind of thing?
No, not really. That's not my job, man. That's not my job. Fucking go on Instagram. There's other people that'll do that for you.
What, really? What, so he lost? Did you ignore him? What did you do?
No, I didn't ignore him. I was like, hey, do you want to get some chocolate? Like, let's eat some food. We just...
What are you gonna say? What's she supposed to say? I
was his fucking cornerman. So everything I said to him was like, "Oh, you fucked this up. We need to change this." You know, like, that was my job. I wasn't there as his girlfriend.
Was he like, I had enough chocolate tonight? The guy beat my ass. Is that?
Is he what?
Is he like, I had enough chocolate. The guy that just beat me because he got beat by a.
It's all black guy just beat me. Enough chocolate for the night.
Yeah, I'm done with chocolate.
That's stupid.
That's so fucked up, Adam.
You're a dickhead.
I got my fill.
All right. Well, listen. So all right. Well, let's talk about you. So you fought Panny. You lost to Panny.
Yes.
It was a good fight. It was a solid fight.
Was it? I haven't watched it yet.
It was the first time she butt bombed you. She sat on your face.
Yeah. It was better than that.
and she put her ass in your face.
Yes.
This was better. Are we?
I knocked her tooth out.
There you go. Boom. You hit hard.
That ass.
Now what do we learn from that fight? What are we gonna do different in our next fight?
Well, I was a fucking mess that fight. First lesson is don't go fight in fucking Russia. That's number one. I got food poisoning. The first day I got there. Well, the first morning I was there, I got food poisoning. So I was throwing up until I had to cut weight, and then cut weight, weighed in, and was throwing up again that night. So it was like the whole week was just shitty, you know. But really, like, I don't know. I think I need to watch it to really be able to analyze it properly. But I knew I was a little undersized. Like, when they weighed me before I fought on the night, I was 141 pounds. Like, I'd been walking around at 143 the whole camp because I just couldn't put weight on. Like, it was weird. So now I'm back up to 149, 150, and the mission has been just to get bigger, get thicker, get a bit bigger, but just be strong. Because I know I have power, but if there's no like muscle to go behind the power, it's bullshit. Like, it's fucking good for nothing, right?
Yeah.
No, everyone I know who spars you says that you go fucking hard in sparring. Like, you try to knock people out in sparring. Like, you're just
Well, I don't know. If I'm in camp, I always feel like if I'm in camp and I'm getting ready for a fight, like, you should know what's going to happen if you spar with me. Like, if you spar with anyone who's getting ready for a fight, you should expect that they're going to try to fight you. Like, we're practicing to fucking fight someone.
Yeah.
So I'll never feel bad for hurting someone when I'm in camp, you know, because I'm like, if you can't handle it, don't spar with me. It's fine. Like, it's okay to say no. Yeah. I'll never be upset at someone saying no. I'd rather that instead of me getting a shitty round or being made to feel guilty because someone else couldn't handle it.
Now, Shang is divorced twice. He's got 2 kids.
No, I'm not divorced twice.
All right.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Shang's got 2 kids, but he's very lonely. Okay, he needs to.
I'm okay.
His last girlfriend broke his heart. He was crushed.
What are you talking about?
What would you?
Shang, do you not know Adam? This is Adam.
What kind of advice would you give for Shang? Because he needs a girl like you. He needs a girl to take charge. He's just.
Don't get married again. I'm gonna say that's number one.
All right.
And there's something with you Americans. I meet a lot of guys who are like 3-4 times divorced out here. I don't understand. Is marriage like it's just
a sham?
Convenient? Easy? Is it something? Because I know so many like multiple times divorced dudes. It doesn't make sense to me.
So
I wouldn't know. I haven't been divorced twice. So
okay, but the last girl fucking killed you, right? I mean, you came to the comedy club. You were in tears. You were like, "Oh my god!"
What are you talking about?
You were so upset. You broke your heart.
When did this happen?
At the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. You showed up.
I was in tears.
No, you were. It was like a Lifetime movie, Jess. Okay, and I was.
Okay. I came in. I wanted to get a sex change. I was just, yeah.
He needs help. He needs a girl like you, Jess. I feel like you need to give advice for men to man up, right?
I don't know if I'm good at giving advice because I don't know. I don't really think anyone does it right, you know?
All right, everybody fucks up.
Next question.
Yeah.
So Ween Dog likes to have sex with girls and put knives up to them. And guns.
Wait, is he still with the same girl?
Ween Dog?
Yeah. That everyone was really excited about him finally having a girlfriend?
Yes. Now you're into knives and stuff, but are you into knives like when guys are having sex with you, put a knife up to you? Because that's what he seems to like.
Fucking hot.
Well, because I've had an ex-boyfriend try to kill me before, I don't really like to go that far. You know what I mean? Might be a little bit of a trigger. I haven't tried it. I'm not really willing to try it.
Okay. No, like pain play, like with whips or anything like that.
Like fucking nipple twisters.
Sure,
and
hell yeah,
Chinese
dude.
burns.
That's more on the
Yeah.
mild
Hold
side,
up.
but
So
Give us-
everybody on
Give
here,
a swirly halfway through.
yeah.
so everybody's just gonna gloss over the fact that Ween Dog puts knives in women's throats. No, nobody's gonna say,
I'm not glossing over shit.
yeah.
it's,
Are you not glossing over? We're both sitting there going, what the fuck just happened?
What happened?
I don't
to a
do
good
it
old
to every
choke?
girl.
What happened to
Oh,
a
not
good old
every
choke,
girl.
dude?
Well,
Dude, you went out and bought an
A good
air
old
rifle.
choke.
You went out and bought a rifle, right?
Why is everybody attacking me, dude?
no, Adam. No,
What the hell?
I'm just
If a
asking.
girl-
I want to know.
If a girl asks
There's
me to
no
put a
judge-
knife to her
no
throat, I'm
judgment.
gonna do it. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna question her. I'm gonna just,
Oh, she asked.
yeah.
What if she
Yeah,
asked you to
fair
actually
enough.
cut her though? Would you
Slice
cut
that
her?
bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
As long as I'm coming, baby. That's all I care about.
Ha!
End of the day,
This
long
is
as you
why I
bust the
didn't
nut.
let you into the PI.
Hey, you ever watch Mindhunter?
Yeah.
So Jess, how many now? A lot of these girls that are fighters are getting OnlyFans accounts, right? Or fans only, where they're posting naked pics and like boob shots, and some girls are doing their nails or peeing. I know that people have been asking you left and right to do this. Are you tempted or no?
No, I'm not that desperate for money. Financially, I'm fine. I don't need to do it. I make enough money just putting my butt on Instagram. I don't need to do an OnlyFans account.
There you
Good.
go.
What about TikTok?
Nah, fuck man, fuck TikTok. That fucking app is the bane of my existence. Every single person around me right now is into fucking TikTok, and it drives me mental.
Yeah,
I hate
TikTok
that.
sucks.
I hate that app. I think that app
Yeah.
is so corny.
I'm not
Dude,
doing it.
Ty downloaded it fucking 4 days ago, and that motherfucker has been on it literally every waking hour since.
Yeah, I know
Drives me nuts.
my wife yells at me enough for other apps. I don't need another app to fucking not pay attention to my wife. Like, fuck that, dude.
She knows about your Grindr account?
Yeah, she knows about both grinders. So that's
Adam, I've always known you love the grinder.
of
Come on.
course. Only with you, Shang.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
That's true. That's true.
So all right, so look at you. I'm happy. You've been in a relationship for like over a year now.
Dude, right? How weird is that?
It's a record. This is
Yeah,
a-
it is.
Well, apparently the awkward guy won. The awkward
Congratulations.
guy won. The awkward guy is the one that you said, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, because you
Salute
know
him.
what? Because when I started messaging him, like after about a week of talking, he told me that he thought I was playing a trick on him when I was messaging him. Like he was that like certain that I wouldn't really be into him because he holds me at such a high pedestal that he was like, there's no fucking way this is true. And I was like, oh, you think it's not true? Watch, you know?
So then,
But that's kind of what hooked me. I was like, you really thought this was a joke? Like you think I'm that big a deal that for me to message you, it would have to be a joke?
so how many
weird.
days did it take for you guys to hook up? Because it sounds like he's not making a move. So you're on like a
No,
third.
he doesn't make a move. Well, I was in Melbourne when I started messaging him. Like I hit him up through Instagram. And it took like 6 days. And
So
he
you
picked me up
threw
from the
him on bed.
airport.
Did you throw him on the bed and you were like, take off your pants? Is that how it went?
No,
down?
I made him buy me ramen first, and then
Then she threw him on the bed. You have to buy ramen first. Come on, Adam. You know
Ramen.
that.
quickest way to
Adam-
my heart is through ramen.
Wow.
You buy ramen, you put a knife to her neck,
Noted.
then you do it.
Wow, that's crazy. Good for you. Good for you. Because he seems like a nice guy. I don't think he speaks English, but he seemed like when I met him, he was
He
like,
speaks a version of English.
yeah. When I met him, he
Pigeon's
was
a version of English, right?
hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Didn't you tell people to go touch his dick?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
When I was on stage, I said, "There's a professional fighter here who loves the pen, but he wants. Make sure you guys grab his cock at the end of the show if you want a picture." I think he was like, he like ran out of the room. I don't know.
He was so nervous. Oh fuck.
Well, listen, Jess. So what do you got? Are you fighting again anytime soon? Do you have a fight in the books?
Fuck, dude. I don't know. I was trying. There was an Austin card at the end of June that I really wanted to be on, but who knows right now? I don't know.
Are you training every day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Now, are you going to stay at 145 or are you going to go back to 135?
Well, I'm at 135. I'm staying at 135.
Oh, good.
Do
Good.
I look that thick? I look 145.
No,
thick?
I thought you were. You
Oh,
said you
dude.
were at 141. You said you weighed
No.
at 141.
not even close. She's walking
Yeah,
around.
the day after I weighed in at 35.
I thought you went up.
She said she's
like,
walking around.
I was at 25. Remember? I was at 25 and I've gone up to 35.
You kept missing weight.
I actually didn't miss. I missed weight once, to be fair.
Okay, fine. Well, you got big
Whatever.
wins. I mean, you got wins over Paige Van Zandt. You got wins over Rowdy Beck.
Are they big wins though? Like, are they?
Yes, they're big wins.
Yes.
Any win in the UFC is a big win, and you got and you got plenty of them.
Just stop that bullshit. Yeah. It's a big deal. Stop it.
Oh, she's that girl who's like, I'm like, you're pretty. Am I pretty?
Am I pretty? Tell me again.
Yeah. But no, that is a big deal, especially if you look at just across the board. To beat someone like that, you go, okay, got to give them big props. So you should.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just a little jaded because I've also lost 2 in a row. So right now I'm like at that stage where I don't know how I feel about everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't get stopped. Okay.
No.
They were both boring fights.
Good.
No one's gonna remember them. Okay. Yeah, and like so don't worry about it. All right. You're hanging there. The fans love you. Fans love you fight and you're doing good. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. I actually wasn't fishing for compliments, but I do appreciate that.
You came to my kid's first birthday party. You know how much that meant to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vince didn't show up.
Yeah, where were you, Ween?
Vince.
Yeah, Vince didn't show up.
I wasn't invited.
Vince didn't show up.
I wasn't invited, motherfucker.
Well, Ween Dog's not allowed near kids. Well, Vince didn't show up to half his fights anyway. So
true.
But listen,
I was there.
You were there.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yep.
Well, Jess, thank you so much, and love to have you back on soon.
Anytime. See you guys.
Take care. Bye. That was Jessy Jess.
All right. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or the elephant on the Zoom. She's obviously not doing too well. She's living in a trailer with some dude from Tahiti who's just straight from his village.
Okay.
Can we all agree that she kind of missed out on like a perfect opportunity?
She could be living at your parents' house instead.
Yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right there under that desk.
I think that I think he makes a good point. She did.
Yeah, dude.
She dodged a bullet.
Up there living in Sacramento with crazy homeless people.
She literally dodged the bullet because his gun would have went off during sex.
Dude, I love that. I would live in a fucking RV in a second.
I thought about getting an RV and going from town to town doing stand-up comedy. And like
you did?
For a second, I was like, that'd be fucking awesome.
I never thought of that shit. I'm like, fuck that. I like hotels and nice shit.
Yeah.
Showers.
After grinding for a long time, when you start getting nice shit, and we've been on the road together in some weird gigs.
Nice shit is great. Don't get me wrong.
Nice shit is great. So
like when you first have like real nice food, like real good food from a nice restaurant, fuck, dude. You know
exactly. So no, but I think that
a nice hotel.
A nice RV, one of those nice, great RVs, maybe. But before I had a kid, but then after my first son was born, I was like, I couldn't do it. I mean, I thought about traveling the world because I watched Pulp Fiction, and he's like, I'm just gonna walk the earth and get into adventures. That's what I thought, and then fight different people in different bars across the world. But then I said, nah.
Yeah, but you can't do. Yeah, you're right. When you have a family, you can't do that.
It changes. It changes your whole
Like Ween, fuck it, dude. That'd be so fun.
Ween, why do you have a cowboy hat on, Ween?
Dude, I bought this cowboy hat on Amazon for some reason, and I never wear it. So I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put on some country music today. I'm going to wear my cowboy hat, put on a flannel. I'm going to fucking groove out, dude.
It looks good on you, though. I mean, no bullshit. It looks cool on you. It looks like it looks good on you.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about some of the fights. Okay, so they're saying May 9th
what fight?
On Fight Island, which is an island off Fiji. They're going to have this fight.
Is that confirmed now?
It's not.
Is that the island?
No, it wasn't confirmed.
Well, according to Dana, it's going to happen. So on that card, we got Ferguson Gaethje, which we're all picking Ferguson, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz.
Cejudo.
I got Dom.
You got Dom?
I got Dom for sure.
I always got Dom.
Oh,
I got Dom for sure.
I always got Dom all day, dude.
Dom is so crafty, and you know his distance in and out. I don't know, man. I give it to him all the way.
I'll give it to
he hasn't
Cejudo.
fought in like
At
3
this
years.
point,
He didn't fight before for a long time, and look how well he. I mean, he's got that fucking it factor.
Yeah, exactly. Cejudo might be a better athlete at this point. He's younger, stronger, faster, maybe. We'll see how Dom Cruz, shows up. But the fight IQ, the experience,
Thank you,
and his ability to break down opponents is just unmatched. Like,
okay, fine, Tyler, I totally get it, and I think a prime Dominic Cruz, 100%. Let's make that argument. Oh, sure. But we're talking about and then a non-prime Cejudo, right? The Cejudo who lost to what's his name? The alpha male kid that's not Chad Mendez, the other
Joe.
Yeah, Joseph Benavidez, right? Sure.
Benavidez.
But we're talking about a Cejudo who beat DJ, who knocked out,
which is amazing. That's big time.
Knocked out Marlon Moraes, right? His last fight, didn't he beat Marlon Moraes in his last fight? We're talking about a guy who's on.
Oh, he did.
No, man. I think Dom is too weird.
He's too crafty. He's too crafty. And plus, even if he hasn't fought for a long time, you see his style lends it where he can in and out. Then and I've seen people try to just knock his fucking block off, and he just slips it.
Exactly. He's like, Cody beat him because Cody's just faster, straight up.
Right. Yeah. He's fast as fuck, but not.
But no. Cejudo isn't as fast as Cody.
Okay, but
not even close. He's not even close as fast.
He's fast. I mean, he's fast.
He's not fast. No.
He's not gonna be able to catch. I don't think
his last fight was December 30th, 2016.
Fine.
Okay, that's 4 years off.
Cool.
Okay, and that was to Cody Garbrandt. Before that, he beat Uriah Faber barely. He beat TJ split decision.
What?
Yeah. I'm talking about Dominic Cruz's last 3 fights. He beat TJ Dillashaw by split decision. Uriah Faber, he beat unanimous, and Cody Garbrandt, he lost. Right? That's 4 years ago.
Fine.
All right. So now we're talking about Henry Cejudo, right? Granted, okay, if anyone can come back from 4 years off and put some, and he's also really smart, and I think he's smarter than Cejudo.
I think he comes out and fights different than we've seen him.
And he might be able to get in Cejudo's head, but who's he going to train with that's going to mimic Cejudo, though? Who's going to have the Olympic wrestling gold medal credentials that's going to have Cejudo, right? So who's
nobody?
Who's he going to bring in?
All
right, so he beat Marlon Moraes last year.
Moraes?
Dillashaw, knocked out Dillashaw in 1 round. We're talking about Cejudo. Then he beat Demetrius Johnson, Sergio Pettis, and Wilson.
The Demetrius Johnson thing is still up in the air to me.
I was there. It was a close fight.
But come on, man. It was a little bit suspect.
So he's fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's fought 6 times since Dominic Cruz has last fought and taken no damage. Maybe in the Moraes fight, he took damage in the first round. It was kind of, he got rocked. But he took no damage against Dillashaw. Johnson didn't really hit him. So, Pettis didn't hurt him. Wilson Hayes didn't hurt him. So last time he really got hurt was the Joseph Benavidez fight 4 years ago. Granted, we don't know what it's like in sparring. Maybe he's getting rocked in sparring. He's sparring with killers over in Arizona. But
I don't know.
The way it looks out, I mean, a lot of times, Shang, because I fall into this too. I fall into the, remember how good I thought Mike Tyson might knock out Lennox Lewis because I was remembering how good Tyson was back in the day, but not.
Right, you buy into the thought process of the past.
Yeah, you forget that these guys, it's 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
And like Dom, I know, okay, maybe me and Tyler, we're on the same page. I just think his IQ is so high that he's going to adjust and he's going to pepper this dude to death, man.
Look, I want him to win, and I do think that he can get
I want him to win too.
I think that he can get into Henry Cejudo's head.
Thank you, yes. And he's very good at that too.
And
he's
make
very good at that.
A fight that he didn't want to fight. That favors Dominic Cruz. Okay. Also, Amanda Nunes, Felicia Spencer, supposed to be on this card.
That just got called off.
What, that got called off?
Yeah. Amanda Nunes?
Yeah.
Yeah, she pulled out.
Okay.
I'm 99% sure.
Ngannou versus Rosenstruck. That's the guy that knocked out Overeem. That
Right. No, that looked like a superhero movie where it was. I've never seen Overeem get fucking clocked like that ever.
Really? But what about the fight against Ngannou?
No, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying Rosenstreak also knocked out Overeem with like 10 seconds left.
But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
No.
I give it to the giant fucking guy from Black Panther. That's what I'm giving it.
The other guy has the same description. The other guy's also a huge giant black guy. I mean,
but but I'm saying I really do think it's going to be.
Tyler?
I don't know. I think Rosenstreich has a little bit more finesse to his.
But he doesn't have the power.
He doesn't have the power. So
Thank you.
Ngannou, and that's the thing. Like
that motherfucker's a monster.
Rosenstreich reminds me of like a young JDS, where he's like not as good.
He's knocking dudes out in 10 seconds. With guy Rosenstreich.
It's not that you could even if he's
JDS was doing that. JDS was not 10 seconds, but
not 10 seconds, but
it was
power wise.
Clearly tell okay, this fool's not he's gonna get his ass kicked, right?
All right, Ween Dog.
I think they both have severe power in their hands. I think Francis obviously has more power than Rosenstreich. I think that's what they're trying to say. But they both have insane black man power. We all can agree on that.
Right.
But
I think they're both from Wakanda.
They got that Wakanda sand shoveling strength. But I think Ngannou is just more athletic, and he's at the PI every single day, right? That's where he trains. So he's around like these great UFC people that are trying to get him down the right track, because I'm pretty sure the UFC wants him to be champion. So I think he has more skills in a more variety of areas than Rosenstreich. I think both guys aren't that skilled in every direction. Like, I don't think they're both that great on the ground. I think we can agree on that. I think they're both.
Oh, no, they're not. Their ground is suspect. But their hands. Yeah. I feel like when he hits you, it's like Ben Grimm. He's like Ben Grimm. If a black guy was fucking Ben Grimm, it would be him. The last couple fights,
even people I'm like, I fall down. Like, I'm watching.
There's a difference. What I'm saying is Francis. For some reason, I think he does have more power, but when he hits people, it looks like their soul comes out of their body.
Yeah.
He just got something. There's something more devastating about with Francis. He got that.
Yeah. All right. So also on this card, Jeremy Stephens versus Calvin Kattar. That's a good fight.
That's gonna be a fifth fight too.
I like Stephens.
You like who?
Calvin.
I like Jeremy Stephens because he's like. Well, I've liked him ever since that McGregor. I've always liked him, but ever since that McGregor thing where he's like, "Who the fuck is that guy?" Because that became like the biggest meme ever, and people don't realize he got set up for that. Like, they're on TV.
Someone told him like, "Hey, say something."
No, Fox Sports was like, "Hey, say something. You guys aren't talking enough." So then he goes, "Hey, I'm the best guy ever. I knock people out." And then Conor goes, "Who the fuck is that guy?" And then everyone clowns him. And it's just like, oh man, like, and I've been in those situations. I'm sure Shang has too, where
very much so.
Like, say something and you do, and then you get shit on. That's pretty much my entire career. So, so I felt for Jeremy Stephens when that happened.
I want Stephens to win. To me, I think sometimes you have to have the heart pick, not just the skills pick. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? There's been fights where I've seen people. I go, I like his heart more than I like this guy, even though this guy has more skills.
Also, Verdum versus Alexei Olnik is supposed to be on this card. Olnik's the guy isn't that the guy that gets everyone from the bottom? Ezekiel.
Yeah.
These guys against Verdum. I want to see if he could do that against Verdum. Like, I don't think he can.
He can.
No way.
No, stop it. Rap.
Dude,
no.
He had a grappling match with Gordon Ryan. He lost in like 30 seconds.
I saw that. Right?
Which Gordon Ryan, fine, he is the best grappler in the world, best nogi grappler in the world. But Verdum is a close second.
Who do you think? Who do win, Verdum or Gordon Ryan?
Top black belt. Like, he's not going to.
All right. In straight grappling, who wins? Gordon Ryan or Verdum?
Gordon Ryan.
No.
Gordon Ryan.
Dang, I don't think you understand this guy.
I do. I know. I see. Come
on, bro.
You watch straight grappling matches?
I watch them, but I'm saying there's a different element. You got to always add the extra element. I hate when people actually say.
No, but we're talking about grappling.
I know about grappling. You said just grappling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you, but I don't think you know. I don't think you know.
Ryan will smoke Fabricio Verdum.
Trust me.
Smoke him.
Huh?
Dude.
All right. So in the fight, who do you got then? Who do you have on the fight?
In a fight?
In the fight, yeah.
In a fight, Verdum. I take Verdum.
Over Gordon Ryan. Yeah, of course.
100%.
Why?
100% I take Verdum. But in a straight grappling match, I take Gordon Ryan over Fabricio Verdum every single day. All day.
What about a prime Verdum?
Even so.
Wow.
He's the best in the world, dude.
Yeah, he's the best in the world.
I don't know, Tyler. I don't know as much as you about
champion.
Tyler. I don't know as much about grappling as you do. I don't know about, but wasn't Verdum the best in the world at one point too?
He was, but it's a different game now. It's so much like.
So you think it's because of the distance of now and then?
Yeah, purely. Like back then, it would have been up to whoever worked harder, whoever knew more. Now there's like the John Danaher guys, the Danaher Death Squad have a complete system. It's like they have an answer. You watch them and they have an answer for every single thing you do. So it's like, oh, I'm getting this underhook. I might get a position. It's like, oh no, that's killed.
Well, but didn't Shoeface tap Gary Tonin with a flying triangle?
Yes.
Yeah, and Gary Tonin is a 155-pounder, dude.
And
Gary Tonin is 100.
He's fucking with you, Doug.
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm just saying, no. Like you're right, he did, but there's also a 60-pound weight advantage to him. So.
But you know what, Tyler? I might be thinking Doom before. That's why I'm stuck in that mindset. And Adam, we've done the same thing where you go, hey, remember Tyson used to be? And you can't say used to be.
Well, no,
right.
Okay.
But at one point, he was one of the best in the world.
For sure. And he still is. I'd still consider him one of the best in the world. That's what I'm saying, how good Gordon Ryan is. Like, Gordon Ryan has lost.
What about Gordon Ryan? What about USADA Gordon Ryan?
Dude.
USADA Gordon Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh, he's for sure juice. I mean, they're all juice.
But I'm saying USADA Gordon Ryan versus Verdum.
I still say Gordon Ryan.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow. That's why Adam, and you're like, I don't think you know. I do know. I
don't follow grappling as much as I do other things.
Okay,
I've watched
Verdum or Barnett? Straight grappling.
I feel like Barnett sometimes, I wouldn't say he doesn't show up, but sometimes he just murders people, and other times he gets tapped out by Ben Rothwell with like a titty choke.
Right.
You know,
I think he's inconsistent. No, he's too inconsistent.
I hate to say that, but it depends on what Josh Barnett. I think on any given day, Barnett could beat anybody.
Right, but Josh Barnett, there's some that he's like a seesaw. He fluctuates too much, and sometimes he shows up and he's a fucking monster, and other times you go, what are you doing?
Gordon Ryan beat Josh Barnett in 45 seconds.
Wow.
Just straight up.
What? Okay, a Barnett that's on point, or not a Barnett? There's a difference.
I mean, a Barnett that's been training and been doing tournaments and like these type of exhibition shows.
All right, moving on.
Like mounted.
All right,
took his arm and fucking choked the shit out of him.
You have a puck too?
Shit! Wow. Okay.
Did what he wanted.
Lucy.
All right. Also on this card, according to Dana White, Donald Cerrone versus Anthony Pettis rematch.
Ooh.
Donald Cerrone been getting his clock clean lately.
No,
I mean it's the truth. Come on, he's been getting his clock clean. I think he's too punch drunk. He's been getting his ass beat.
Yeah, but the thing about Donald Cerrone is like no pressure. Donald Cerrone wins every time, and then pressure Donald Cerrone sometimes gets in his head. So in this fight, everyone's counting Cerrone out, and people are gonna say Andy Pettis is gonna kill him, and this might be the Cerrone that shows up that fucking knocks out Pettis that makes you believe in him again. No. Wow. Okay. Cerrone, okay, even the last fight, you said the pressure. Okay, it shouldn't be about the pressure at this fucking level, dude. Yeah, but it is. Sometimes people just perform.
I don't think it was the pressure in the last fight.
I think he got fucking tagged.
He got beat up, yeah.
A
broken fucking orbital bone 10 seconds in, like you're not recovering from. It's not at the end of the fight where you're getting tagged and finally it breaks, but that shit shatters and you're like, I'm 10 seconds in, and
I got more time to go. Yeah. It's over.
Now I got
Anthony Pettis is so fucking. I mean, he's fought some wars. I like Anthony Pettis, but I'm telling you, I just think he got that dog in him and Cerrone got a dog in him, but it just seems like lately the dog has been just like, hey, I'm just happy, water skiing.
Okay,
and,
but let's play MMA math. Let's play MMA math for a second, right? Anthony Pettis lost his last fight to Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz then got kind of beat up by Masvidal. So that Anthony Pettis that shows up versus this Donald Cerrone is a pretty interesting matchup.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting. I just still think Cerrone, he's been taking some fucking, he
got knocked out by Gaethje, and then he got knocked out by Conor, both in the first round.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You don't think that residual, even though it's been a while. And no, with fighters, come on. You don't think with fighters, I think that residual.
I do, but then again, like I thought Hernandez was going to beat Donald Cerrone because he was this young, undefeated guy that knocked out Beneil Dariush in one round, and I was like, oh, and then Cerrone comes back and just fucks up.
You mean the knockout king Beneil Dariush?
Dude, Dariush is fucking ridiculous, man.
That last fight, oh my god, I'm still.
I mean, Dariush just knocked out what's his name? Who's awesome? That kid.
Drakkar Klose, is that him?
Who?
Drakkar Klose.
Yeah, Drakkar Klose is a great fighter, and Dariush just knocked him out.
The fuck out of him.
So
amazing.
I'm saying, so I don't know. In this fight, the smart money would be on Anthony Pettis, but the X factor is Donald Cerrone might come out looking like a world beater because he likes.
No, I've seen him do it. No, I've seen Cerrone do it, and you can't like count Cerrone out. But I'm just saying, even when Pettis was getting his ass beat, and they had to stop the fight because he was just getting bludgeoned. But the bottom line is, up to that point, you still saw him just go, and he still was throwing shots. He still was going down the middle. But if you look at Cerrone, his last fights, it was just bam, oh shit, my shit shattered. It's over. Truthfully, like Conor just shattered that motherfucker.
So you think if Pettis' orbital would have blown up too, he would have kept fighting?
No, I think the same thing happened, and that's like people aren't giving Donald Cerrone credit. They're saying he gave up. It's not a giving up thing.
It's not a giving up. He got his eyes shattered.
It's like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. It's like it's already done. Like it's already done. Your body's just like fuck.
So who do you think wins the fight?
See, why'd you do that, Tyler?
I'm gonna go Pettis.
Okay, Adam. What about you?
I love Donald Cerrone. But, okay, so the Pettis, we all know the thing with his hand before the Tony Ferguson fight, right? He cut his hand because USADA fucking came back there, made him do a piss test, and the glass was broken, and he sliced his hand open.
Are you serious?
30 minutes before the fight. Yeah, 30 minutes before the fight. And then ended up breaking – that's the hand that broke, I believe. Ended up breaking his hand in the fight. So it's like it's not like they were going to fight.
I'm getting Cerrone. I think Cerrone – was humiliated. I think he took it really personal. I think he fucking hates the fact that like everyone was calling him a quitter or the fight was fixed. I think he comes back like a fucking monster and beats Anthony Pettis.
Wow.
Right.
That's a fucking call and a half for your ass.
I love it.
We're gonna have to talk about after that if it goes down. Come on.
I would love to see Donald Cerrone. I love Donald Cerrone.
Ween Dog?
He's
can basically just flip a coin on this fight because it's very, very difficult. I think guys are like in similar stages in their careers, especially if you look at their previous fights. But I think Pettis is probably going to win this fight because I don't think he has as much distractions as Cerrone does. Cerrone just hasn't had a kid and he's still going out, jumping off helicopters on a jet ski, all this crazy shit. And I think Pettis, there's a fire lit under his ass, especially coming from Duke Rufus's camp. Duke Rufus wins like 1 out of every 10 fights, their camp. Can you agree with that? It's not the best track record for Duke Rufus.
They've been having a tough time as of late. I mean, between Askren and then that girl that lost to Roxy, Barber, and then
CM Punk.
Yeah,
but that was the joke. Like you even said.
Really
no, I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't fight CM Punk. Yeah, I would. But you're right. I think because they're coming off of that. But Adam now you fucking changed my mind. Adam made a good point. The humiliation might actually light a fire under Cerrone's ass.
Dude, that's 100%. How he is, bro. Like when he left Jackson's camp and started his own camp because he got fucked over with the Mike Perry situation. According to him, he was on a mission and he stopped Mike Perry in 1 round. That Cerrone takes things very personal. First time I met him, he goes, "Roast me, I'll fuck you up." That was the first thing he said to me. And then we became friends. He came to my show in New York, and he's just a nice guy. But some of these people, man, like, I mean, as comics, like, sometimes you need that. It's like when everyone tells you can't do something is when you want to do it. That's how I am. People say,
"No, I know what you're saying. No, I agree with you. I didn't think about it from that standpoint. I was looking at it, and Wayne said it perfectly. You got to think that's a lot of distractions, a lot of weird shit he does that takes him out of his mindset, and him having that little baby. Your mindset either it lights a fire or you get real comfortable.
Well, first
Pettis doesn't have that. Pettis doesn't have that, and Pettis still does have some shit to prove. He still, whereas Cerrone kind of is cemented. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, all of that. Pettis still seems like he got that fire.
Pettis was the champ. He was a WC champ.
Exactly. So he still has that. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like but you made a good point. Now you made me fucking fluctuate. God damn you, Adam.
I got you. All right. Also, Greg Hardy, Greg Hardy. He's the guy that NFL and he got accused of beating up the women or a woman.
He got accused. He did it. He fucking did it. Hey, so you didn't go give me oatmeal in the morning, bitch? Hey, come on. He's a fucking woman beater.
So he's fighting Yorgan De Castro, who everyone's saying Yorgan's going to fuck him up. I don't know much about Yorgan De Castro. I do know that Greg Hardy, according to what's his name, Dean Thomas, is a great guy and a great guy to coach and wants to learn. And
that's what everybody said.
That's what everyone says, right?
Everybody that trains with him is like, oh, he's the nicest guy. He's so cool. He's so helps out, and it's like, well, yeah.
I give the guy credit because, to go from a sport
when he goes home, it's
he was probably the best. I get the guy was probably the best football player in high school. Then he was the best in college. Then he was amazing in the NFL. To go from that to learning a whole new sport and starting from the beginning, you got to give the guy credit.
Like I've said before, those guys are coachable. It's like they know when they don't know something. At that point, at that level, they know when they don't know something. And if someone says, "Oh, do it like this," they're like, "Okay," and they just do it.
All right. So also on the card,
you can go from not knowing how to box to being in the UFC because people just tell them do this, and it's like, all right, do it, and their body just does it.
Also on this May 9th card, Carla Esparza versus the Karate Hottie. Interesting fight because Esparza's obviously got the wrestling and the grind, and Karate Hottie has the karate and the striking. So this is basically like a UFC 2 fight. Although Carla Esparza has gotten better in her striking.
But not much though.
And Karate Hottie has a ground game.
Has a ground game.
For sure.
Yeah, they both evolved in their respective weaknesses.
But Carla just had that march forward, just drive you into the cage, hold you against the cage, throw a knee into your leg, fucking bullshit, boring ass style.
That wins her fights and won her the Ultimate Fighter. And
right, yeah. But she's not the most. Come on, Adam. She's not the most.
No, but
I like her grind. I like the fact she grinds people down, but it is not. If you're just watching, you go. Ugh.
But her last couple fights, I mean, she dropped Claudia Gadelha. She's been getting better at striking. She actually has been getting better at striking. And the Karate
Hottie, that's her thing, though.
Striking.
Her striking is.
Yeah, I don't think she lets her get in close on her.
At all. I think she keeps her
just keeps the shit out of her.
Fucking bananas too.
Side kicks her face. That's it.
Who would you rather sleep with?
Oh, Karate Hottie.
You?
100%.
Why'd you make that face when you made a face like?
What kind of question is that?
I feel
Karate Hottie.
I feel like
Not even a question, dude.
I think Carla would put more effort into it.
Yeah, I feel like Carla would try harder. I feel like Karate Hottie would She's Mexican and Irish. She's Mexican and Irish. She's got something to prove. I think she was married before. She was married before. Yeah. Divorced. I feel like the Karate Hottie would you'd be happy to be there with her. Like she would just stand there and be like, hey, look at me, and you'd be able to just look at her and be like, I am happy to be here. Whereas Carla would fucking punch you halfway through, start crying, elbow you, fucking You're
right. That would be a lot better.
Oh yeah. See, now you thought about it. Yeah, exactly. Would be better.
I think it depends. I mean, obviously, you know, I think maybe if you look at pretty factor, maybe the karate hottie is prettier in some people's mind. But as far as who would want it, I mean, sometimes the best girls I've ever slept with were the ones that like just
don't want it.
They were unexpected. Like
right. They're like, you know, they're like, yeah, I'm glad to be here. I want the one that's glad to be there too. But I would go with Esparza because I just think she would just like she'd leg lock me, then just suck my dick real hard.
Yeah, I want the one that's like not super hyped to be there, but they're still doing it because they're like, might as well, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
No, you also want to call back. It's like you also want to call back. I mean, there have been times where like a girl was out of my league, so I knew I had to step it up.
Exactly, and that's what I want the one that like doesn't know she wants to be there, and by the end of it, I'm getting that call back.
Yeah.
So, but who you got for the fight?
That's Karate Hottie.
You got Karate Hottie. I think Karate Hottie is
I think Carlo's gonna win.
I do.
You are really going against the grain, man.
Well, every time I think Michelle's gonna win, she loses, and every time I think she's gonna lose, she wins. And also on this card, also on this amazing card, Jacare versus Uriah Hall.
Ooh.
Uriah Hall, I feel like doesn't know he's in a fight until like the third round. Somebody tells him, "Hey man, you're in a fight," and then he just throws a flying knee and wins the fight.
Yeah, I feel this might be different because Jacare tends to get in a striking match. He tends to like getting into striking matches because it's worked out for him in the past. I think Uriah Hall is going to be different. If he keeps it standing, I think Uriah Hall knocks him out.
Oh yeah, well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like who's ever knocked Jacare out? Has he ever been knocked out before?
No, I don't think so.
No, I mean you won't.
Jacare, even though his ground game is like top flight, he likes to stand up and bang.
That's what I'm saying.
He got knocked out by Robert Whittaker. If he stands up and
bangs with Uriah, I'm telling you, he's gonna be like, oh shit, a foot, pow, done.
But couldn't he just get him against the cage, take him down, and submit him?
He could,
but he doesn't like doing that. He feels that like I got to stand up and bang with you. I've seen him do it a couple times. He get mollywopped. I'm telling you right now, he does. And something if he sticks to going in ground game, then he might win that way. But I'm telling you, on the feet, it's a wrap.
Yeah. If he decides that he wants to get into a striking match with Uriah Hall, I think it's a bad.
It's a bad call.
But
if
you also
goes, all right, fuck it, I'm going to take him down, then it's over in 3 minutes.
But you got to think, how does this pandemic affect them, right? Because Uriah Hall obviously needs to bring in top-level grapplers to train with to get ready for Jacare.
Get ready for him, right? I see what you're saying, yeah.
So how many of those people out there are coming to his gym right now to do that? Whereas also...
I think people are still training. I mean,
Good amount.
People.
You think so?
Yeah.
A lot of people are still, I think a lot of people
are still training. A lot of people are still like, you got to think you got to have that body on you. So, I mean, they're taking that chance just like people are opening up certain parts of the country are opening because they're like, fuck it, I'll take the chance. And I think a lot of the fighters are doing that.
By the way, I was hanging out with Uriah Hall at the MMA Awards last year, and people kept congratulating him, thinking he was style bender.
Oh my God.
Like, it was like really embarrassing after like the fourth person was like, dude, I loved your fight against you. And I'm just like, oh God. It was like.
But I've met him twice and he just seemed like he had such a nice nature about it. Like he doesn't like, well, fuck you. He's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Also on this card, Vicente Luque versus Nico Price.
That's a crazy fight.
What? See.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. And Bryce Mitchell versus Charles Rosa. Charles Rosa is a great fighter. He's a guy. He's also a chef. Trains out of American top team. Came out to Florida to become a chef. Went to a gym to get in shape. Now he's in the UFC.
Yeah.
Bryce Mitchell is the guy from Arkansas, who accidentally drilled his nuts with a driller and put a nail into his ball sack and then posted it online. Won his last 2 fights and keeps getting mad at Reebok for not giving him camo shorts, which I think they finally did. And
isn't he another one that like did jujitsu on YouTube? Like learned a lot of jujitsu on
Twister
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Yeah, he's also a
Twister on YouTube. Yeah.
He's also a huge Trump supporter. And I think he was like talking about how, you know, huge Trump supporter, which also Ween Dog is too. Shang, I know you're also a big Trump supporter as well.
Well, everybody knows that.
Word up, my brother.
No, I'm not. Stop it. Listen, if you support him after this coronavirus fucking debacle, then Wayne, seriously, you're
are you blaming
licking windows and eating crayons.
You're part of the problem, bro.
Are you blaming him for the coronavirus?
Not blaming the coronavirus. I'm blaming him for waiting a month and a half and calling it a hoax instead of jumping on it.
Ween Dog?
Well, I don't watch fake news CNN, so I have a different opinion on that one.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And the coronavirus, you know, it's all a hoax. So why don't you go outside and lick a window?
I did that today, so I'm good.
It's not a hoax, dude. It's a cover for the 5G.
Yeah, it's all a cover.
Exactly.
I mean,
It's a cover for the 5G. They can rescue all the sex slaves and start the earthquakes in San Diego.
Right, because there's a lot of kids being sold out of the back of Pizza Huts right now. We already know that. But Wayne, I hear you. I don't like to, like with Trump supporters, I go, hey man, do your thing. See you in November. If you win, fantastic. It's not gonna change shit about me. I'm gonna
I think he's gonna win though. Shang, I don't know. It's hard to listen. I don't know who I'm voting for. I mean, I'm not sure Joe Biden.
I know who I'm voting for, but I know that Trump got a good chance.
But are you excited about Joe Biden? I feel like he doesn't know where he is right now.
No, I don't. I'm not excited about befuddled Biden, but I think the befuddled. I'll take a doorstop over Trump because he has shown his ass in every fucking press conference that I've seen. He has shown his ass completely.
But he got called by hundreds of governors called him yesterday.
Yeah, and when the governors that are Republicans start saying, fuck you.
Well, there's only 50 governors, but he said hundreds were calling him.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I can't believe what he says. But, Wayne, rock out with that. See you in November. And I'm going to go with Nico. That's what I'm going to go with.
Me too.
Nico. Yeah.
Nico all day. So that's first. But I definitely think Nico. But, see, like, Adam makes me, when I talk to Adam about any time with MMA or even fighting in general, even boxing or whatever, he'll make a point at the end, and I'll go, fuck, and I gotta rethink it. He does that all the time. I go, damn, I didn't think about that aspect. You know, Cerrone might actually be mad as fuck about the last thing. So but on paper, in my mind, I was immediately like, you know what? I think Cerrone's gonna get his ass mollywopped.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. By the way, tomorrow, guys, we have Eve Edwards joining us again, and we have Bob.
Eve is funny, man.
And then we have Bob Sapp.
Eve is funny. Bob Sapp?
Bob Sapp is calling.
The real Bob Sapp?
The real Bob Sapp. For real. Like the actual Bob Sapp.
The actual Bob Sapp.
And then Thursday, we have Jessy Rhodes, the adult film star.
Really?
Yes.
Finally?
Finally? Why'd you say finally?
Because she's been booked for the past 4 months now.
That's Jessy Jess. That's Jessy Jess. This is Jessy Rhodes.
Let me Google her really quick.
Yeah.
She looks just like Paige Van Zandt, just like her. Beautiful girl. And also really into the conspiracies as well, as far as coronavirus goes.
Oh, fantastic.
So can't wait to hear this.
You know what? I've actually jerked to a lot of her videos.
But that's always good to know.
I don't know.
I'm serious.
You're serious. Like, no,
He's been featured on Pornhub a lot.
Oh my
Adam, but let me ask everybody real quick. And I know, Adam, I know this is you, but the main card, how come we didn't even go any details? It was just so immediate.
Oh, because we've been talking about Gaethje versus Ferguson for like all week.
So that's why it's immediate. You just think.
Well, I don't want to bore the crowd, the fans who've been watching it all week. Who's that girl in the background?
That's Sandy Brown.
Oh, the comedian.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like there's like 80 people that have been walking through your. Like, is there like
They don't give a fuck. They don't.
A tunnel or something? What's going on? Why are all these? You're supposed to be quarantined. Like, why?
We got a party back in the back. There's a bunch of people. Yeah.
What the fuck is going on back there?
They're trapped in here with me.
Have you ever knocked anyone out, Shane?
How bad?
Yes, I actually have. Out of all of my, like 3 times, I'd say 3 times, where unconscious, like where they were sleeping, I'd say once with a kick, believe it or not. It was a horse kick. The horse kick, actually, they hit their head. So I didn't knock them out. It was because they fell. One was with the elbow, and at a club, it was at a nightclub, and he kept fucking with me. And I said, and it was so funny, he threw this bullshit roundhouse, like this, like, bro, you're gonna find out what's going on. And he did like this. A child could have blocked it and got him up here, and it was a wrap. and I got him right here, and it's like he went out, and then once in sparring, once in sparring. But I've been knocked out 2 times.
When?
2 times. Sparring.
How many guys when you were on BET, like you were on all the time back?
I was lucky. Yeah, I was lucky. I got it.
No, but the guys try to test you, like, oh, he's the big TV actor, he's the big star.
That's what happened. But I think that, like, when I was, like, to me, you guys, I'm so much older than everybody here. I'm much older. So I think that back then there was a lot more of that, because now they realize you run up on the wrong dude, you'll end up hospitalized. Because a lot of UFC fighters, or even wrestlers, you've had it happen where some guy that doesn't realize you train and you can wrestle your ass off, when you got in a fight at him, he didn't realize that about you.
Right.
So that's why. So a lot of guys, I think they don't realize the people that are serious about it. And the only reason if my father was like, kept telling me, dude, you're always hurt. My pops kept telling me, you're always hurt. I would win. I won a state final, and I still was fucking hurt. I was hurt 2 weeks later, and I started getting tired of that shit. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. That's why I give UFC. It's like after that, you're like hurt. I couldn't move my fucking arm. I couldn't do this. That's crazy, because my shoulder was like, So I don't know how you do it, man. And wrestlers, to me, the reason I give props to wrestlers more, and I'm not saying it because you're wrestlers, the grind of it is so fucking intense.
Yeah.
The fucking grind of it, and the positioning and being able to position, and you're just constantly taxing your body. That's fucking bananas to me.
And then finally, did you watch the Teddy Riley versus Babyface?
No.
Oh, God.
I watched clips of it, and it was horrible. I was actually...
It was amazing, except for Teddy. So if you guys don't know, on Instagram.
It was huge numbers.
They've been having like these great artists go up against each other. This play, and it was Babyface, Teddy Riley. And Teddy Riley, the first time, brought a backup dancer, a backup singer, a band, and Babyface is in the studio. And it just kept fucking up. His like AOL account crashed, and then like his phone rang, and then his like this. It was hilarious. Like how much it was like old school people just not knowing technology. But then they went again, the rematch, and everyone was clowning them, like Mariah Carey and this one, and like all these huge stars were commenting, and it was hilarious. And it was again last night. But man, I can't believe how many.
I watched part of it and went, I'm good. I ended up watching, I had never seen the movie Goodfellas.
What?
Why you say what?
Me too. I just watched it like last week.
I just watched it.
For the first time.
I had never seen it, and it blew me away. It was such murder in the first 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It's such a hardcore fucking movie, dude.
You're an amazing actor, and you're into action movies and into...
I just never watched Goodfellas. I watched Casino recently. I watched Goodfellas, Casino, and I watched Bronx Tale because they recommend. You know how one movie recommends another movie? The Casino was like, if you like Casino, you'll like Goodfellas. You saw Tyler. You saw Goodfellas?
Of course.
It was awesome.
You ever seen True Romance?
I watched True Romance. The first time I watched it was December.
I haven't seen True Romance. I haven't.
See. Okay, so now that's okay. Tyler, that's your mission now. You got to watch True Romance. It's a great movie. Okay. But Goodfellas, Joe Pesci stole that fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, listen, Shang, where can people find you?
Oh, you could go to my website, iamshang.com, and you can check me out on Instagram @comedianshang. And now I'm older. Please do not, when I start going to comedy clubs, because I said I knock people out, please don't start trying to fight me.
No problem. Well, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Shane.
Oh, look at you. Later, man.